I hope you're all well. Thought I'd just come on here and do a bit of a YouTube video about weight stalls after weight loss surgery. It's a question that's come up lots in the DMs and actually in my Beyond Bariatric membership. And that's because we have women coming in at every stage post-surgery. So they may have just had surgery, they may be 6 months into their journey, they may be at the point where they're at maintenance or even regaining. So we have a huge variety of questions, but one of the questions that's come up a lot this week is weight stalls. And so I thought I'd put together a little video for you because I've been everybody else telling everybody what to do when they hit weight stalls. I thought, why not share on YouTube? So if you're on YouTube and you're just coming across this video, my name's Van Patel. I'm an expert bariatric dietitian and emotional eating coach, and I've been doing this for so long, about 30 years, helping women lose weight successfully and keep it off, especially once they've had surgery. So if you're new to this channel, I'd love for you to subscribe and I'd love for you to like the video as well if you find it helpful, and I know that you will. So if you've just had surgery, you will notice, especially if you're around 3 weeks, you're probably going to have a weight stall. Now, this freaks out a lot of the women that I work with because there are so many things that go through their mind. And if you have been through this, I'd love for you to share a comment and let me know if you have been through it and what your thoughts were and what you did to overcome it. And if you did any of the tips I'm going to share with you. But you've got to remember your journey to weight loss starts before you have the surgery because you will follow an LRD, a liver shrinkage diet, or you might call it a pre-op diet, which is high in protein and low carbs. So your weight loss process starts a week to 2 weeks, maybe even longer if your BMI is higher before you have the surgery. Then you have the surgery and you're on a 2-week liquid only diet, which for some people, well, for most actually, it can be quite difficult, especially that first week, because there's a lot of swelling in the stomach whilst it's healing. It feels very restrictive, and you will be scared to drink because you're thinking, gosh, I've just had either 80% of my stomach removed or stapled off, and you're only using 20%. You're scared you're going to stretch it, and if you drink too quickly, it's going to cause a problem. And so all these thoughts are running through your head. So the amount of fuel you get into your body, that's your nutrition, is going to be pretty limited. Now, what starts to happen a couple of weeks at this stage, so you might be 2, maybe 3 weeks post-surgery, is you'll notice your weight loss might continue to be very quick, or it will start to slow down, or you'll hit a stall. And that's because you've probably been losing weight for about 4 or 5 weeks, and your brain and your stomach are now starting to think, well, it's mainly your brain. What's going on? Because you're not eating like you used to, and you're not eating very much. So the brain is going to go into fight or flight mode, and it's going to think that you are starving. It's going to think there's a famine out there because the brain is still very primitive. And because it thinks there's a famine, it doesn't know there's a supermarket down the road or your food is very accessible online. It's not aware of that. It just thinks there's not enough food for you to survive. So it's automatically going to start to slow down your metabolic rate. And of course, that's going to create a stall because your weight loss is going to slow down or stall. And you're going to automatically think, I've been here before. I can't believe I've invested in surgery and this is what's happening. But the reality is it's all to do with your body trying to survive. And this is why I say it is so important to focus on fueling your body once you've had weight loss surgery rather than depriving and restricting it. And I know you've just had weight loss surgery and you've got only 20% of your stomach there. So automatically you're going to think of, oh, if I restrict food, that's going to restrict the calories. And if I restrict calories, I'm going to lose weight. And that's true to a certain point. But for good weight loss and long-term weight loss, you need to start thinking the opposite a little bit and think about, how do I fuel my body? How do I nourish it for weight loss rather than how do I eat less and move more? Because you've been there and done that and it didn't work, and it's not going to do the same after you've had surgery. So it's all about making the most of that tiny stomach that you have and fueling it correctly. So first of all, I want you to start accepting that weight stalls are going to be a part of the process of your journey. A lot of women will be thinking, here's my weight, and this is the weight that I want to be. And I'm just going to keep going down and down and down and down and down. That's not the reality of how your weight loss is going to be. It's going to probably go down a bit and then it's going to plateau. When you're at that stall, it might go down. You might have a quick drop again and it might plateau again. And it might even go up a little bit and then suddenly drop down and then plateau and go down and plateau and go down. But it's not going to be a straight line. I only wish it was. But your brain is going to be in control of how you eat because, well, it's going to be more in control of your weight loss if you're not eating enough. So fuel your body right. So when you're around 3 weeks to 4 weeks, you're on that puree stage, moving on to soft food. Try and aim to have 3 small meals a day, eating off a small plate. Focus on protein, getting that in. But you'll also need to have 3 small meals a day. 3 small snacks a day, not meals. Let me just confirm that. 3 small meals and 3 snacks per day. And you might think, I was told not to graze. You're not grazing, you are eating intentionally because in the first few months, that swelling in the stomach is there. You're still trying to get used to how you should be eating. You're allowing your stomach to heal. You're learning the techniques to work with your surgery. There's a lot going on. And you will need to eat small amounts frequently in the early few months post-surgery. And then you'll whittle down the snacks. And then you'll get to a point where you may just be having 3 small meals and 1 snack per day. But that takes time to build up to that level because you need to be eating more off your small plate at meal times to reduce the snacks. So if you're at a stall, I really want you to be focusing, especially if it's around 3 weeks, that you aim to have your 3 small meals a day and your 3 small protein-based snacks. You'll also need to hydrate, and you're probably thinking, Van, I really struggle to hydrate after surgery. Most women do, but you need to be intentional. So if you are struggling with your water intake, your fluid intake, make sure you plan to have a drink, between your meals. So it's like 30 minutes after each meal, you have a rule for yourself that I'm going to get down like a large mug of water or, herbal tea or a fruit tea or some decaf coffee, because that all counts towards your fluid intake. You might choose to use that as your fluid intake. You might have another rule where you say, right, 30 minutes before I eat, I'm going to make sure I get down, a large mug or a small glass of water, or, you choose your size depending on what you can tolerate. It might be a small cup, might be a large cup. Okay, so create that intentional plan of when you're going to hydrate, because what will happen is that will become a routine, just like your eating and your snacks. They have to become a part of your routine. So hydration is important because you need water in your body to break down fat. That's why a lot of people say as soon as they start to drink more water and they hydrate better, they lose weight. That's why we need that. It's like going back to a chemistry lesson. That is needed. It's part of the process. Okay, so ensure you are hydrating well. Another thing to focus on once you've had weight loss surgery and you're at a stall is to make sure you are managing your stress. Stress helps you store fat, and we don't want that. Okay, so managing stress is also important. So at this point now, you are focusing on fueling your body right, because your brain thinks that you are in a famine, isn't aware that there's a supermarket where you can get food, so it will automatically slow your metabolism down. So to improve that, we need to fuel your body right. Then we have to work on hydration, really important. We have to find ways to manage stress if stress is part of your life, and things like breathing techniques, journaling, breath work, things like that are really, really important to calm your stress levels down. Another thing that is extremely important is sleep. A lot of people don't factor in sleep and how sleep can really improve your weight loss if you are sleeping well. So having a good 7 hours sleep allows the body to rest. It allows the body to fast. It allows the body to start burning some fat. So if you are struggling with your sleep, look at your sleep hygiene. routine? Is it the fact that you're going to bed too late because you're on your phone scrolling, you're watching TV, you're watching a movie, and then, you're falling asleep about 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then you're up at 6, 7 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock in the morning, you're probably getting about 5 hours sleep. Well, that is going to affect your weight loss. So you need to be aiming to have at least 7 hours of good sleep. So focus on your sleep hygiene. That means slowing down an hour before you go to bed. Switch off all your blue light, your mobile phone, your laptop, your iPad, whatever you're doing. Try and have a nice, warm, relaxing bath before you go to bed. When you have a bath during the day and it's nice and warm, I bet you feel really drowsy, and that's because it helps relax your body. So have a nice warm bath or a nice warm shower before you go to sleep to have that as your signaling to slow down for the day, preparing your body to sleep. So ensure sleep is part of your routine to help you lose weight. Now, exercise. A lot of women, when they have a storm, guess what? They're at the gym, they're doing lots of cardio twice a day, they're doing everything. But the thing is it's just adding more stress on the body. So we don't really want to be exercising twice a day. If you're at 3 weeks when the first stall starts, all I want you to think about is movement. How can I build my steps up to 8 to 10,000 steps a day? And that's all you need to focus on in the first 4 to 6 weeks. Because if you're not fueling your body right and you're over exercising, you're causing more stress on the body. And I've already mentioned that if we've got a lot of stress in our body, we're not going to lose weight. So I would say don't go to the gym, don't do anything really active in the sense of running or aerobics or anything that's going to be really intense cardio-wise when you've just had surgery, especially in the first 4 to 6 weeks. Once you are fueling your body better at around 6 weeks, then think about low resistance training. So things like Pilates, reformer Pilates, yoga, stretching, using light weights, and then build it up so that you're doing more heavier weights. You don't need to go every day. You might just start off with once or twice a week. You might just start off with a routine of just doing 5 minutes of exercises where you're just using your own body weight every day or twice a week. Start off slow and build up the intensity of your training, because if you are not eating enough, you're just going to be burning your muscle. And if you burn your muscle, that means your metabolic health is declining, your metabolism is slowing down, and you don't want that. So each stage is going to come after you have your surgery with challenges. And I know in the first 4 weeks, the first challenge is fueling your body correctly, but the weight stalls, which is probably what's going to trigger you to go back to some of your old habits of low-calorie diets, exercising more, running, being more aggressive with your weight loss. But actually, you need to take a step back and think, actually, am I eating enough? Am I drinking enough fluids? Am I resting enough? Am I sleeping enough? They're the questions that you need to be asking. And your exercise then starts later. The more intense exercise starts after that 6-week period for you. I hope you have found this short video to be helpful. It would really help my channel if you can like and subscribe, but also leave a few comments and let me know where you are in your journey, because I love reading the comments to find out where you are, what you're doing, and your reasons for why you've had surgery. So I hopefully will see you again next week. Bye for now.